Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how are you doing? Well, this week was going so well. We were so close to having a record-breaking week. We need 14 stars from today's map out of a maximum 15 to break the record, 13 to match the record, and if I'm honest with you, I think we'll do lucky to get anywhere close to that. I chose this map back in the summer because, well, it charted for that particular week and the thumbnail was quite promising. And if I'm honest with you, it's not the worst map in the world, it really isn't. But it is by a new creator. And so, yeah, you know where I'm going there. So that's where we stand with that one. We were doing so well, it could have been a blinding week. Darn it. I blame Mecania. I blame Mecania for everything. I'm kidding. I don't really. Anyway, now's your chance to shine. I'm going to give you your daily reminder. Get your finger waggling right now. That's right, hitting that like button really does help me to expand and to grow and to be noticed by others. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Right, are you ready for this map? Let's do it. It's Fjordic Boreal by Yorfic. I might be thick, but what are you? And what is this map? What is it, Yorfic? Please tell me.
First map.
Oh, it's your first map. Oh, lovely. There's your start square. Now, Yorfic has actually created some assets, but this is their first and only map as of this moment. There's your resources, very vanilla looking, and it is very vanilla looking for a reason, just like yesterday's map. It's very vanilla looking because it's actually vanilla, and this time there are no required assets, not even a required theme. We are with the vanilla Boreal theme, and I am using the custom realistic 1.2 LUT. Now we start off with this. Now this is out in the fog. I'm going to ignore this. It's obviously coming in on the bridge, and we got a jinky janky start, but that's in the fog. I'm ignoring it. We are now concentrating on whatever we see from this point in. Now, one thing you'll notice is we've got some glitching between the roads and height glitching as well. And it's throughout. I'm not going to look at every single one. I will just pick out, say, this one here and try and semi-fix it. Semi-fix it, right, using Move Its Align Terrain Heights button. If you want to know how to use this, I have got I've got a tutorial on the Move It Align Heights tool. There we go. Just remembering how to use this one. Click on one, click on the other, hit the shift button as well, and we'll click on the tool, boom, and then click on the shift button, and then that'll align heights as well. It's not perfect. Of course, what would make things a lot easier would be to use the terrain tool to get it of an even height all the way along before laying the roads, and that would resolve this. And this isn't the worst map. It is not the worst map for this. It really isn't. It's just not quite perfect, and it does stand out, especially in comparison to some of the maps this week, which have been outstanding. Intersection here, and this leads down to this spoon of a loop back there. Now, I don't have a problem with that, because what's the first thing you're going to do? Bulldoze it and replace it with whatever you want. Now, that isn't the start square, so we're going to ignore it completely. But everything's fine. It's a good intersection. There's no glitching. There's no clipping. Everything is nice and dandy. As we cruise across the Norwegian landscape. Oh, I did little what's it called, Euro Truck Simulator let's play this area. Stavanger or Stavanger, I'm not quite sure which, but it's of that area, and it's obviously a terrain party map as well. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Another one of these intersections. Nothing wrong with the intersection. It's been plopped down, it's fine. A little bit of terrain glitching between the two roads there, because we are building on a hill. Everything is fine there. no worries. Completely happy that it's donut proof as well. Now we come down here, we have the sound barriers. Now I'm guessing there are sound barriers this part of the world, but I'm sorry, I hate them on the intersections because you really want to be able to see. Yeah, we're coming up with, let's say we're driving up here, and we're going to have a quick look at our wing mirror because we're merging onto a highway, and we're looking at a wing mirror and we can't see anything. We can't until we're literally on the road and we're merging at 60 or 70 or 80 or 100. That'd be terrifying. Absolutely freaking terrifying. Coming up here, we've got the same with the roundabout. Of course, the traffic won't be moving so fast around the roundabout, despite it being a highway roundabout. And then here's your start square. See, we're using these are non-editor roads, by the way. So they're custom selected roads, shall we say. The editor only allows you to use a certain number of selected roads, but you can add others using the Find It tool and such. Now, the terrain in the start square isn't incredibly flat. It's very usable, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying it's not the most friendly of terrains for a start square. I'd have a play on it, but I don't think it's going to be one of those it's not so much fun for the beginner. Did we come this way? I think we did, didn't we? We'll go that way. That's right. We're going this way, Zed. Now, for those of you with delicate sensibilities, or note the fact we're going back to the basic roads again. Those of you with delicate sensibilities, you might want to go away and put the kettle on right now. Before you go away and put the kettle on, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button, which will be a little reminder be coming up on the screen in a moment. What I'd like you to do is do that, and then go and make a cup of tea and come back in a minute if you cannot handle things that make you shudder, because things are not bad, and what you're about to see is just going to make you wonder why. Just why? Right, first of all, look at that bridge in the distance. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and there's almost an extra point for the aesthetics for this map just because of that bridge. But then we get a bit closer to it. Okay, ignoring the roads because we've already discussed the roads here. Okay, we've already discussed them. We come around here and the bridge is going to start right about now, and look how low it is to the, oh, it's so close to the water level. It needs to be a little bit higher, because look at this bridge. It looks amazing and believable, absolutely believable. Slowly increasing in height so that we can get some shipping underneath the top part here, which is absolutely perfect and beautiful. Let's hope we can avoid those pillars, by the way. This doesn't quite work on the end, but it's a valiant attempt. Okay, I'll let it go. Suspension bridges don't quite work like that. But then when we come down to ground, we have this one lane coming in and continuing. So 3 lanes on one side, 1 lane on the other. Then we come up to the next bridge. Now the next bridge, okay, credit this for effort. It's too much of a bend in that bridge. It's more of an arch bridge than suspension bridge. I credit the effort. It's not quite how suspension bridges work, but hey, there we are. And still we've got 3 lanes on one side and 1 lane on the other. Okay, now ready to shudder? Are you ready? I did warn you about this. As soon as we hit ground, 3 lanes down to 1. I'm not quite sure why we're using these single lane highway ramps, because we've already seen that that Jorvik has decided that he will use custom roads. In the start square we had the green the grass lines, 2 lane roads and whatever, and here we've got, I don't understand why would you do such a thing. The rail, now the rail is a little bit lumpy bumpy, but not horrifically so. Okay, I've seen a lot worse than this. In fact, I was expecting a lot worse than this, having seen the roads and looked at the terrain on either side. A reasonable attempt has been made to make sure that this rail has been relatively flat, mostly, not entirely, but mostly. It's I mean, in terms of the game as a vanilla map, yeah, it's probably okay. If you want to play this as a realistic map, it's definitely going to be a fail. I'm afraid. And now we're doing a bit of a climb up here, and then down the other side. We've got a bit of a downhill slope here before going over the road. Now, okay, rail over is fine, but see how the way we go down the hill and then start climbing back up the bridge. Now, why don't we just do a little bit of Move It again? I love the Move It. Who doesn't love Move It? And what we'll do is we're just going to raise the embankment, find the nodes there, raise the embankment up a little bit, so we don't have to do any climbing once we get onto the bridges. It just seems a bit silly that we have to do any climbing. So there, we're coming down here, and oh, hang on, we just need to raise that one up a little bit as well, just a tid. There it goes. There it is. Lovely. Right, so that is almost better already, but then of course it's gone to waste, because on the other side of the bridge we got this drops back down the ground with a thud over here. Okay, not sure which direction to go. That's probably the fog that way. Let's go and have a look down this way, see what we have in store down this way. And the answer is riverside rail line. Very nice indeed, and relatively flat. Still, actually, it's one of the flattest parts of the track. And oh, we stop in here. Okay. Well, if we stop in here, we'll go back and head off towards the fog. Now, remember, all this week we've been looking at the olden days assets, the ones from yesteryear, and today's is no different. Are you ready for the quirky one? So we head off to Assetville for today's quirky asset of the day. Now, I know what you're going to say, though. You're going to say, hey, BonBon, that's not an olden days one. And that's the Essential Lighthouse. You're not reviewing the Essential Light? No, I'm not reviewing. You remember a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, they had force fields. They had force fields. It's the shield, eye candy by Breeze. And yeah, this is just a prop. It doesn't actually do anything in game, and it doesn't have this sound effect in game. And the magic, the technology where it suddenly zoomed in and zoomed out, that is all post production in video, I'm afraid. It doesn't do that either. What you're seeing is what you've got. But let's switch shall we switch that off now, shall we? It's Shield Eye Candy by Breeze. Today's high tech, olden days. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Asset of the day. As we head off to Steventon Island for the last time this week to have one last look at the Polka Vida map theme by Not Done Yet with the Relight Neutral LUT. And time for, shall we do one last factoid for the week? I'm going to stop at one because it's the last one on the page, and you know. What have we got? We have got President Reagan made an unfortunate slip of the tongue, speaking about third world countries. You can see you might. I mean, our Prince Philip would do this. Good old the UK Prince Philip. His slip of the tongue. It's not slip of the tongue. It's deliberate with him. Anyway, he said, "The United States." I'm not doing the accent. The United States has much to offer the Third World War. This was the 1980s, guys. This is with the bomb hanging over us, the Star Wars laser defense systems being put up into space. I don't know if they would have worked. Anyway, there we go. Back to Fjordic Boreal by Yorvik. Yes, I know I am, but what are you? Sorry, Yorvik. It's just one of those unfortunate translations or mispronunciations in English. That's what I mean. Anyway, it's fine. This is all good. This is oh, hang on, we're crossing lanes here, and that's not so good. Although it won't cause any problems, you will get ships crossing over each other and glitching through each other, and it will look, well, it look poor. So yeah, I'm afraid that's like a half a mark off for that one. Shall we go back and see where that goes? Actually, let's go and have a look at the bridge. See if we can avoid clipping on the bridge. If we can avoid clipping on the bridge, all will be good. There might even be an extra star at the end of today's episode if we can avoid clipping the bridge. Past that one. It's definitely high enough, by the way, guys. Definitely high enough. And are we avoiding the pillar? No. We will be clipping that. There's just not enough room to get the ship through between the pillar and the line there. Oh no, never mind. Okay, let's have a look at the water flow. Now the water flow looks strong, doesn't it? Well, what we have in the water flow is the edge of map water flow, everything that's getting pushed in from the sides of the map. So if we come down here, we'll see water pushing in from the sides of the map here. Do we have any actual water flow on the map? Well, there is a little bit. There is a river, a little river somewhere. But if we come down to the start square, which is here, you can see that we've got barely any movement at all. A little bit pushing through there, but barely any movement at all. It could be a bit of a problem for sewage there. Let's have a look at the water sources. We've got the ones in the lakes, and then we got this one. This is the one river that will take sewage away, but it's not in the start square. So unfortunately, your start square, which starts from about here, that's what you've got to work with over here, and sadly, there's no real water movement. Oh, okay, so not a vanilla map then, really. We're going to have to use custom assets. Let's have a look. Now, this little feature here, I caught my eye, right? First of all, we've got the cottage, the abandoned cottage, of course. The jetty is very nicely done. It's about the right height, and you can walk up onto it. I like that. That is good work indeed. But I question the ship. How would the ship have got into that angle on that island? How? Unless the island came up suddenly from underneath it. But I'm not aware of any volcanic activity in this particular part of Norway. But yeah, I'm not quite sure how that ship would have got into that position. Lady drivers, anybody? Oh, and there goes my 5% of viewers that are of the female persuasion. I'm sorry, ladies. I will shut up. BonBonB knows nothing. Like I've ever tried to park a boat. Never. Oh, hang on. Here's an essential lighthouse. Let's have a look at the essential lighthouse. Quickly changing the subject. Ooh, it's essential. It's very good, actually. It's been put in nicely right there. I'm happy. You can walk up onto that and switch the light on. If it were a Hendrick lighthouse. What else have we got going on? Looking at the map as a whole. So we've got the start square over here, which is relatively flat and relatively smooth. We come over here. It's a lot rougher looking. And look, it's very pimpled and very pixelated. Yes, it's a terrain party map by all accounts. And the pixelization and the glitching is just horrible. Let's do some smoothing. Okay, call up the terrain tool and the softening terrain tool. Slightly larger brush, not too large, and bring the softening down a little bit so that we're not completely ice rinking it. Need a little bit harder than that. There are we somewhere around there, but that's better. So yeah, something like that, just to take out some of the pimples and the pixelization on it. And something like that will probably look a lot better. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a lot smoother, much better. Yeah, I'm not looking at the resources glitching there at all. But yeah, I'm loving the rockiness is very nice indeed, very Boreal. But yeah, very Minecraft again, or knitted sweater possibly. Knitted sweater, that's more like it. And then it goes smooth here in places, and then we get this. Maybe it was rushed to finish, maybe, possibly. Now what we have got down here is a couple of extra roads. Now these are not connected to the outside of the map. Let me show you that. Fog. Switch the fog off, and back to there. So yeah, these aren't connected up. So I'm putting these down as a vanity project. These are out of the 25 tiles. So if this been played as a vanilla map, these wouldn't be seen. I think these were just done by Fjordic. By Jorvik. I know I am. I really am. And then we've got this little encampment here, which is maybe his local village or something. That is what I'm guessing is going on here. And we do have another one, and that's not it. That's not it. It's got to be over in this corner, so I can't see the road. Is it? Oh, right, there we are. Put it a bit closer. Yes. So again, not connected up. And if we come down here, we've got a slightly larger settlement down here. And once again, I think just a vanity project. And your chance to vote on the map: is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your votes really do count towards the end of the month. Right, and yeah, this part of the road, I'm not liking this bit, but hey, it's a vanity project. He probably just did this for his own enjoyment. And why not? Because this is just a game after all. Okay, let's give this thing some marks for what it matters. Aesthetically, I'd like to give it 3 stars. I really do like that bridge, but it's not enough to get the 3rd star, I'm afraid. Overall, it's a fairly ordinary, slightly ugly vanilla map. 2 stars. Detailing, yeah, all I can say is it could be worse. And because it could be worse, it gets a 2nd star. So 2 stars for detailing. And gameplay potential, what can I say? Gameplay potential is, it's playable, but it's going to be difficult to get into. There's no real encouragement to want to play this map. And because of all of that, I'm going to have to give it 2 stars for gameplay. So 2 stars, 2 stars and 2 stars. A Fjordic Boreal by Jorvik. And that is his first map build. I'm sure his next one will be a lot more glorious. His assets, check out his assets. Go and have a look on the workshop at his assets. His assets are really quite nice indeed. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. There'll be a map on the screen right now for you to go and vote on from yesteryear. About a year ago. So yeah, go and have a look at that one, and join me tomorrow for the chart show, and of course for Asset World. We are starting to flesh out that build. That build, it's starting to look like a city. My goodness.